my friend.
Everyone enjoys getting out on the town for some live music. And there's nothing like going backstage and down the hall for a VIP pass to the inside information and interviews with the bands, singers, and songwriters that you enjoy. Welcome to All Around Town Radio.
Working for the weekend.
And I wanna see a show. I flip on the book of face. Yeah, I know where to go. There's a man on there into the music scene, showing lots of love for the community. With great advice, I know who I should go see. So
That's for me.
All right. Hey, Ceris.
Hi, Scott.
Scott. I love the way you say that. Scott.
Hi, Scott.
Makes me sound dignified or something. Scott. How are you today, Ceris?
I'm fabulous. I had a really good day. How did you? How is your day going?
My day's been good. Had a great day today. Did a little gym. I did a little gym time. Can you tell? Yeah.
You look. I was just about to say you look super buff today.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You look swole.
Yes. That's my goal, is to be swole. Goal to be swole.
I have pressured my wonderful husband to start working out with me every morning. He's really loving it.
Oh, I can imagine that he is just thrilled about that.
No, he's doing a really good job. And I'm not judging him that bad, so it's good.
Well, don't be judgy. You've never been judgy.
Ever.
In your life, ever. Hey, Glenn. And yes, as Johnny Fink says, she should come first. I don't know what that means. Maybe I missed that. But yes.
Johnny Fink in the Hall of Fame on June 8th.
Yeah, in the Northern Kentucky Music Hall of Fame, right?
Yes, which is great.
Congratulations, Johnny.
Well deserved.
Johnny. Hi, Kevin.
Hi, Kevin.
Craig.
Kevin. Hey, Kevin,
Craig's
are you
here.
still there? Did you see I got koozies made?
You did?
I did.
For what? For what?
The bar.
Bar koozies?
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it.
Kevin was asking about it, so I did it.
And you did it. Thank you, Kevin, for that great suggestion. Hi, Craig Ballard. Ed Sawicki in the house. He says, "Que pasa? Que pasa? De nada?"
Jamie's doing yard work while she listens to us.
Oh, hi, Tina from O'Connor's.
Hi,
Tina's in the house. And Jamie Minnick. Hi, Jamie. Yard work. She's working in the yard.
The yard.
Next to where they park the car.
The yard.
Next
awesome.
to the yard.
Wicked awesome.
Awesome.
Yo,
all right.
Shane.
Jill Drew in the house. Hello.
Jill Drew looking beautiful.
Dewey. Hi, Dewey.
I love Dewey.
He said, did you get your laptop fixed?
I didn't. It completely died, so I got a new one.
Thank you, Dave Worthington. Oh, yes. Thank you so much for that. We built this city.
Hi, Clara.
The worst song of all time. We built this city on rock and roll. I'm telling you, it is. It's on my
Liz.
number one.
Hi, Craig.
Who's here? Sweet Sister Mercy at Planet Fitness.
Sweet Sister Mercy. Hi,
Are they at Planet Fitness? They're playing Planet Fitness this weekend. Sweet Sister Mercy, tune in.
Hi, Chris.
Chris Reese.
Sup.
Jim Kilroy.
Sup.
Sup. Chris is the cool kid. Sup. He's going to be on the show tomorrow. I'm having Dat Band on tomorrow at 5 o'clock. And we're going to talk about their big show this weekend.
I guess they're like one of my favorites.
Are they? Are they on your list?
I do. I love them.
Okay. Are they in your clique? I threw that in there.
Apparently, I have a clique, and yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I didn't know you had a clique.
I didn't either.
You know, what is a clique? Can someone define what a clique is before we start this show today? Give us a definition of a clique.
Yeah, what
Skip.
is a clique? Because I personally think I'm pretty welcoming to everybody.
Shane DeMoss in the house. How you doing, Shane? I'm behind you. Liz is here, Craig.
Beautiful Liz.
The lovely Mrs. Hall around town. Steve Short in the house. Dave Shores is here. He's in the checkout lane at Kroger's. Well, tell your bagger and your cashier we said hi, will you? You know, I like the way Kroger's introduces their people now. They'll say, my name's Scott, and I'm your cashier, and Ceris will be your bagger today. Scott. Julie Taylor, what's happening? Jim McCarthy. We're called CNS now for short. Look at that. CNS.
I like how I'm first.
Well, it does alphabetically go first.
I know, but still I'm first because I'm cuter.
Wow. Did you just say you're cuter than me? You did? There, let's look at you up close. How about that? Hi, Lauren. Thank you. Gosh, there are so many people checking in.
Hi, everybody. We love you all.
Kara, I love you. Kara says, what Kroger has cashiers? You had a friend post the other day, said they opened this brand new grand opening of a Kroger's. It has like 3 cashier lanes and the rest are all self-serve checkouts in the whole place. It's nuts.
I'm telling you what, that's going to be one of the biggest Christmas holiday parties ever. We're all going for staff, for Kroger staff party.
Yeah. Okay. That'll be fun. 3 people, right?
Well, no, I'm saying all of us work there by doing our own.
Work there? Oh, I get your point now. All right.
Get it?
I'm a little slow. Hold on. I got to come back into the show. Let me come back into the show. There we go.
I was going to say, I'm not that cute.
All right. Here's a definition from Kevin. A small group of people with shared interest or other features in common who spend time together and don't really allow others to join them.
I guess I have like a negative connotation on the word clique.
I do
just
too.
because I've seen like Mean Girls and stuff like that, and I don't ever want to be described as that.
Wow. Mean Girls? You're not a mean girl.
No.
You've got a kind heart despite your armadillo skin.
My skin might be bumpy, but my heart is soft.
What's up, Sean Cooper? Thanks for being here.
Hi, Sean.
Yeah. If you have a definition of the word click, thank you for that, Kevin. That was a good one. I appreciate that. And
if that is the definition, I'm okay with that one.
Shameless plug for grocery store vodka there. He segued right into Kroger with that one. Thank you, Jeffrey. Nice move. And Rick Henderson says in just basically one word, it's exclusionary. And that's probably a good way to put it sometimes, because it can be. And we've had people ask about clicks in the music business. And you know what I see more than others is clicks by genre. And I don't know that that's necessarily a click. I think sometimes you hang with like-minded people. So if you're into country music, you're in the country group. If you're into rock music, you hang with the rock group. And a lot of people don't, overlap. They like their genre of music they like, and that's kind of part of that. But there are some people that are hard to break into the cool kids club, I should say, sometimes. And that's a shame because there's a lot of good people out there that could be let into the cool kids club, I guess. And if you want to call it something else, I'd call it political. I mean, sometimes it's political whether you're not welcomed into the flock, I guess. Right, Ceris? What do you think? Silence. You're so afraid of pissing people off. Just say how you feel.
No. I just don't even know what to say. I mean, I think I hate the word political, but I think cliques are like high school, and I don't like that word. I just don't like that word. I mean, okay. I know that there's definitely, I learned very quickly that there's definitely a divide from what had constantly been told to me. I didn't experience it per se, but was told that there's a difference between like Dayton musicians and Cincinnati musicians, like that sort of bands, that sort of thing. Would that be a clique?
Yeah, I think that's just geographical.
Within?
I mean, it's geographical. We've talked about this before. You can take one of the best Cincinnati bands in the world and bring them to Dayton and vice versa. And sometimes it's like, it just kind of falls flat because they're not in their little geographical zone. That's a shame. Right. But you know what happens in the business. You book somebody from up my way up here, and if they come to your place, it's not exactly, people don't know them, so you may not be busy.
We just had one of the most talented bands on Saturday. my God, like blew us all away. I mean, phenomenal.
Doug
But it
Hart
wasn't,
Band.
it just wasn't a good turnout. And that has nothing to do with his talent or who he is or the band. I mean, by any means.
Not at all.
And
He's internationally known.
I mean, he's freaking
unbelievable.
phenomenal. I was honored, but I also think that might have also had to do with like the weather and everything like that. But like that was not, I mean, I just think it just depends. But yeah, no, Doug Hart was phenomenal. But I had a really good discussion with Steve because I'm trying to pull Steve and Aaron, I guess, to our Cincinnati clique. But and I really,
You said it.
I know, because I'm doing the show. I was like, how do I get your band here? And we had an honest discussion, and it was like, I don't know if it would do well over there, because we don't know if it would do well over there at the Bell. But I will utilize Steve and his talents in every which way I possibly can at the Bell.
I would love to see Mad Hatter come to the Bell. His band,
I would
Mad
love
Hatter.
to see that too. I just don't know if it
I think they would be well received because that's right in your wheelhouse. The music they play is in your wheelhouse. Now, like
but
Doug
they
Hart,
wouldn't bring a crowd, right?
It's hard to get people to travel that far and go out for a night of drinking and having fun. It is.
Correct. And that's my point. And that's my point.
Yeah.
And I think that's what happened with Doug Hart, because Doug Hart is phenomenal.
Right.
And so
you were at the mercy of two things that night. You were at the mercy of, and we're getting off topic, but mercy of it being an unknown band in your area for the most part, and the fact that it was gorgeous outside. And let me tell you, I was at several places that night whose attendance was way down compared to what they normally have.
I do think that's it. Why is this so bright?
Because you are. Well, at least you're not red like me. Look at me. I look like I'm on fire today. Fire. Am I really that red? Does it look that red?
Am I really that white?
You do look a bit ghostly compared to me, but let me see here. Oh, yeah. I'm looking red. That's bad.
Oh, I'm not worried, Ed. I will continue to book Doug. I mean, I will never not book Doug Hart. I mean, that's not a worry at all.
That's one of those things that's going to grow.
I'm not worried about
hear about it. Yeah.
I'm not, and I wasn't saying that because I'm like concerned about it. I was just using that as a point, like as a fact.
Doug Hart is at the top of the food chain. Yeah, he is.
Yeah,
he's great.
100% because he's phenomenal.
So let's kind of keep this going with our topic of the day, though, talking about musician cliques. And we know cliques happen in every aspect of life. I mean, if you're in the Pee Wee football team and there's cliques between parents and there's cliques for kids, you said it, high school cliques. But if you don't think for a minute, I'm going to tell you that a lot of times the music business can be just like high school. And people can get very, very, I'm on top of the world, you're not, stay out of my way type of thing. And that's unfortunate. And that's as we've always said, that's a handful of people out there. It's not the norm. And I've been introduced to the Cincinnati music community. People call it a clique all the time. Let me tell you, I want to be in that clique if that's the case, because they're the kind of people who would give you the shirt off their back and do anything for you. And every time you've had a fundraiser or somebody has down there, they come together and blow it away. And they do the same in Dayton. It's just a different demographic. And I've been the brunt of cliques and people not wanting you in their little circle of life or whatever it is, and circle of trust, if you want to call it that. I mean, I've been there. And yeah, does it hurt people? It sure does. And what it hurts the most is the up and coming musician who looks up to people in the business, yet are not given the opportunity to even maybe hang with them and learn something, and get some advice from people who've been in the business for a long time. And Josh, I disagree with you on that. I don't think the Dayton scene is dying quickly. I think Dayton has a lack of venues sometimes. South of Dayton's doing very well. There's obviously Springfield. Our friends at O'Connor's are doing well with live music. Courtyard is bringing live music up north of Dayton. And Little York Tavern and places like that. I don't think Dayton's a dying area as much as you're saying quickly, but I will say it does have its bumps in the road, and it can be a little cliquey sometimes. It really can, and it's unfortunate that cliques fall over in favorites. They kind of become favorites. And Ceris, we talked about this on the show the other day about bringing people to life because you book the same bands and they kind of tend to be your go-tos because they're good people and all that stuff. And that always gets looked at as that's the click. And it's not necessarily that. I don't think. That's just my opinion. And Scott's opinion only. Scotty Long says 100%. Okay. What are you reading? Cooper's?
I'm interested. What band is Joshua Baker in?
I don't know.
Because he has some opinions.
And you're welcome to have your opinions.
Oh, absolutely. And so I'm trying to figure out, because up above he made a comment saying that let me see if I can find it. Not so much bands, but more bars are set with the bands they like and don't seem to give other bands time. It's not really that black and white.
It is.
Really not always that black and white, and it's not personal sometimes, and sometimes it's very personal. But it's not that. I mean, I can just speak from a venue's point of view, and again, just mine. It's not that we don't want to give bands the time. It's just that we have no idea who they are. And we've built our bar to be a certain thing. And we need to make sure that every new band we bring in fits that thing, that fits that mold that we're trying to keep. And there's
Shane,
nothing wrong with that. There's absolutely nothing wrong with that.
I think it is tough for the up and coming people to get booked.
Absolutely. It's very tough. But also, I'm more, what was it, 2 years ago? Well, for 2 years, I booked mostly, other than like the ones that I knew, I booked pretty much only up and coming bands. And on Fridays was my test. Like, how did you do on this Friday? And if you did well, then I would book you again. But you can't do that all the time.
Right. And Joshua says he's in ATP after the party. And, you know, I've seen you play. I've seen them play. They've played at Froggy's and places like that. And Josh, I get where you're coming from, where you say it's tough sometimes to break in and some places pay and some places don't. And that's a whole nother show. We've talked about pay, and that's between the band and the venue and your negotiation. And if it's not, doesn't meet your needs, then don't book there. And if they can't afford you, then they shouldn't book you. I mean, that's just the way we've talked about it. And that's a dead horse on the show. Unfortunately, we've talked about it so much, it kind of gets beat up. But I'm interested to find out if anybody's ever experienced a click in the music business that has affected you professionally as a musician. Please let us know. We'd love to hear from you today. And
we are all in this together, and it's definitely.
I wish I should have not put support local music on the back of our shirts. I should have written on those, we are all in this together. Love music. I mean, you know, I agree with that statement so much. So many people don't realize we are in it together. It is not a competition to the finish line here, because the finish line usually doesn't have a good retirement plan in local music. If you reach the brass ring, where else is there to go? I mean,
Brad Martin doesn't call it clicking. He calls it favoritism.
Okay.
He says, I would call it favoritism before cliques. And there is certainly plenty of favoritism. I play in a lot of different places, and each place has their own favorites. And in turn, you're treated differently in each place. It's human nature.
Bob Klein agreeing with Kevin Cooper. Let's see. I'm looking at Brad's here. I got it up on the screen now. Yeah, every bar has their own favorites. Venues do that. I mean,
yeah.
You see it in the rotation. I mean, I see it every Thursday when I announce gigs. It's like, wow, that band's playing there again. They just played there 3 weeks ago.
Well, also, I know for me, like, there's certain bands that I can call when somebody, like, I've had a couple of last minute cancellations. So you call your favorite, you call your favorites because you know that they're reliable, like, that they'll put on a good show. I don't mean to book the same. I mean, I had a certain band play 3 months in a row, not on purpose. but that's all like that I could get to fill in, but also was more than happy to have them fill in because they always put on a phenomenal show.
Jack, the topic is musical cliques, and are there cliques in music, and the circle of trust, so to speak, with certain musicians that they don't let other people in their little group. All that's what we're talking about today.
Thursday Night Jam is a clique. Oh, okay.
Who said that? I didn't see that.
Sweet Sister Mercy.
Wow, really? Did they?
Interesting.
I'd like to know more. I would.
So would I.
I would like to know more on that comment, because I've heard the Thursday Night Jam get called a clique numerous times. I can tell you that. And it's usually from somebody who came in at 9:30 and
exactly
got butthurt because they didn't play, didn't get to play that night because
I'm
the
not
list
sure
was
why
already.
Sweet Sister Mercy saying that, considering we begged them to come and play, but okay.
and he said a good one at that.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I will say, I'm going to call that. I'm not going to call that a clique on Thursday nights. I'm going to call it a family. I am. It's my family.
A family. And we welcome new players all the time, but you can't show up at 9:30 and expect to go on right away.
Well, and you know what I see? Thank you for that, Jack. I know who Jack is, but thank you, Jack. I will say some things I've seen as examples of cliques in the music business. And I don't know if it's because you're comfortable with them or what, but I see it, especially when these fundraisers come up and things like that. And there's a group of musicians going to play, and it's a certain group that plays every single time there's a fundraiser. Now, it works. I mean, you know, they bring people, it works, it does its thing, but it's hard to break into that. And I like what Shane DeMoss said earlier. He said they're bringing somebody with them to play early before them at Jane's on Main this weekend. If more artists who get booked would do that, even with somebody that wants to, I don't want to call it open mic because it shouldn't be, but somebody that wants to get up and get a little exposure for 3 or 4 songs before your set, that's kind of cool to do. That's helping other artists, and especially up and comers out there. It is hard for them to get booked. They're like, who are you? You know, oh, you've only got 150 people that like your Facebook page. I'm not booking you. You hear that all the time. Mm-hmm. And they may be the best artist in the world. You might be blown away by them. But if they don't get the opportunity, it's, I guess, clicky. And Jamie Combs, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And please know that our thoughts and prayers are going out to your drummer.
Why?
And certainly his drummer suffered a cardiac event up in New York.
Who?
And was taken away from the show. And we can't mention all that.
Oh, I'm sorry. What is that light coming in? Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know that.
That's your aura.
I turned off the lights. I got sun. It's all sun.
That was the wish you were here, drummer.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Yes. So we're thinking of him, and hopefully he makes 100% recovery. Scotty Long said never been in the clique and lost a couple gigs from him. Absolutely. I've lost gigs from him. I'll tell you that. Yeah, because boy, some of the cliques will do everything in their power to run you off because they're threatened by you, or especially musicians. I see that a lot. Jamie says Brad's 100% correct. All right. Thank you, Brad and Jamie.
Yeah.
Yes.
I think it is. I think it is more favoritism than a clique. But I mean, I guess that it would really could also be perceived as a clique. Well, they're your favorites. You guys are kind of in it together. You know what I mean?
Do we call that a circle then? Is that our circle? I mean,
I don't know. Yeah, I don't see that as a bad thing. And I don't know, I don't know if I so much play favoritisms, because I have my favorite bands, but I don't book them all the time because either I can't afford them or I don't agree with some of what they do. I know that Thursdays, I don't know, the people that show up and support you constantly, if that puts us in a clique, like my Thursday Jam family, well, then I'll be happy to be in a clique, because I've never been more supported in my entire life than what occurs every Thursday. So. And
Chris summed it up pretty well there. Thank you, Chris Reese. That's good.
And I came to the bell and actually met folks. However, I totally agree about it being hard for some bars, festivals, community events. It's just, I don't know if it's so much their favorites or if just they're scared to take a chance because you just don't know what's going to happen. Like, I'm scared to take a chance on some bands because you have one bad night and that's all people are going to talk about.
Hi, Casey Gomez. Circle of trust. Yeah, it's interesting because it does get, I think it does get, and I hate the word click. That's why we put it in the little headliner today for this, because the word click really doesn't, it's got a real negative format. And a lot of people want to know if it's genre-based groups or is it, geographically based groups of people who only let so many people in their little circle of who's who. And there are certain bars who do that. I know. I mean, I see it. Like I said, I announce them every Thursday. I will tell you, I can tell that a lot of bars do the same bands every 4 or 5 weeks on their rotation.
Well, but there's good reason for that. And it's what I just said, because it works. Okay. And for me, I have extended it to I try to do 9 weeks, 8 or 9 weeks for a handful of bands. And the reason is because it's consistent and it works. And that's got nothing to do with favoritism. That's more of business. It's like, okay, I know that I can get this amount of sales by having this band. And there's a ton of nights that you just, and somebody made a good point here. You will always have more people talk about a bad experience than a good one. And unfortunately, that's the truth. But yeah, I mean, some of that's not necessarily favoritism or clicks. That's just good business. Sometimes it's bad business, but there's also a lot of bands that I get asked, majority of the bands that want to come play there are not even local. So that's a huge chance of a venue taking on somebody who's not even local, because you're not bringing anyone to the table.
So do you think that bands get lumped into cliques and musicians because they start to get good reviews, they get rolling? I mean, it's kind of like running races, and you get so many gold medals, you're running that race, you become at the top of the heap, you're it. And I think sometimes these people want more of it. They get to the point of, I'm the cool kids because we're getting all these great reviews on our band. And where does that go? I mentioned it earlier. Where can you go with that, yet look like you're alienating other people because you're striving to be cooler and cooler and cooler and cooler because you have to have that validation. And we all want validation no matter what. Mm-hmm. If you don't, you're lying. People want validation in their life. They want to know they're doing a good thing in life. I mean, that's Scott's opinion, but you know what I'm saying?
Shane, completely off subject. Shane, you are that fucking amazing, dude. That shouldn't be daunting to you at all. I know that Kathy has begged you to come and play because we think you are phenomenal. So
I don't see that comment. Is that the one that I've got on the screen or something else?
He said, Thursdays are daunting to me so far as asking to jump in the rotation. Everyone is insanely amazing. Dude, you are insanely amazing.
Shane DeMoss, you would be in your element there in a second.
A second. Yeah, you would love it.
I'm looking here. I'm trying to get to all these comments, and this is a book, so let me see what it is.
David Parks, I love you. You're right, Jack. We shouldn't. You're absolutely right. I agree. I think it just has such a bad. It just has a bad history, the word itself. The meaning of it, I guess, is not bad, but the word itself is just kind of sounds mean.
It does. It has a real negativity.
It does.
Yeah. And I don't know. It's so many people out there. I hear them say, I can't, and I'll use the Bell as an example. On that Thursday night, I've heard more people say, oh, I can't break into that clique. Well, just as Shane said there, he says it's daunting. And I believe, and this is not directed at Shane in any way, but I believe some of those people who say they can't break into the clique are a little bit intimidated by the group of players on that stage, and they should never be. I've seen them welcome people up there that have modest talent, who aren't even playing on the level of some of those players who've been playing for 30 plus years or more, and invite them and welcome them. So never think that.
I also want to say, I don't think we've ever not said yes to a musician. Now, we may not have been able to get that musician on stage that day, but we've never, I think we've only turned away one musician, and that's because they were completely hammered. But I don't think we've ever actually said no to any musician to coming up. They may not have been able to get on the day that they wanted to, but we've asked them to come back the week later. And that's just because we get a lot of people on our list, or we have something like, set up, because once again, we're not an open mic. We're a jam, and we're also there to entertain the amazing people that come and watch it every Thursday. But you don't have to be at a certain level. You don't have to, it's not a clique. You just have to come and try. And don't show up at 9:30 and think you're going to get above everybody and play and then get upset. The one thing I can tell anybody coming in on Thursday is, if you have an ego, you're not going to fit in. Like, you're literally not going to fit in. If you think you deserve to be up there more than somebody else, and you keep pushing at Kathy or the people on stage, you're probably not going to fit in.
There you go.
And that's got nothing to do with being in a clique. That's just respect.
Steve Stein, thank you for that. He said he's been taken in at many open mics and jams in Dayton. Yeah. So, and Joshua, I want to know why you think the Dayton music scene is dying quickly, because I'd love to hear your comment on that. If I missed it, I'm sorry, because I don't really believe that's true. I've seen a lot of good music in the Dayton area, and it's still alive and well. It may not have the big venues like it used to. That's kind of part of it, but hell, wait till summer hits. I mean, summer, it'll be crazy up this way. Absolutely. And I'm trying to get to all these comments. Jack's being a comedian today. Sorry about that hammered night.
The best way to learn is to play with musicians who are better than you. Clicks is the music. Okay, there we go. Clicks is the music world, who are just those people. Oh, that's nice. That's good. Yeah.
And, there's a quote out there online I've got to bring up that's funny. It was back in Motley Crue's early career, and they were being asked about the Sunset Strip being a clique. And let me see if I can find it here. It says, when someone says there isn't a clique in their area.
Sorry.
What did you say?
I'm trying to figure out what James is talking about, because he said, no, not true at all. So I was looking to see if it was a comment or if it was something that we said.
Probably talking about the Dayton music scene. But
yeah, I just want to know what people are talking about.
Can I go back to that Motley Crue quote?
Oh yeah, he was talking about Dayton bands. Okay, thanks, James.
When someone says there isn't a clique in their area, it means they are in the dominant clique. And that was a quote Motley Crue made back in the day about the Sunset Strip being a clique. And if there was ever a clique, so to speak, in that negative connotation, that was it. To get a break out in LA on the Sunset Strip, you had to really know some people or sell your soul to the devil, so to speak, to get a gig out there. So interesting. And I'm trying to get to all these comments. TJ says he's become a better musician in person by going to the jam. Absolutely.
And I think that's what Casey was saying too. Like, get on stage with other musicians,
Can we call it a family too? I mean, I hate the word clique. I do. And that's why we threw it out there today. I mean,
I know that we're a family. Like, we're a big family. So.
And Joshua says it's mainly hipster bands in Dayton. Are you talking about like downtown Dayton, the Oregon area, or that, or?
Man, I haven't spent time in Dayton. I'm gonna have to make it up there. I love cover bands. I don't care what anybody says. I love cover bands.
Yeah, and there's some great ones. I mean, hell, within 5 miles of my house, there are 3 venues that feature live music all the time. And then you go 10 miles out, and I can't even count them. And
yeah, I don't know. I think I'm like my strip. I think I'm the only place that has live music.
Yeah, and you've always said you wish there were more.
Oh, I wish more venues, the more people. That's the thing with bars and music venues. Well, the more bars, the better business, because when you got more people in the area.
Yeah, and you know, that's why like we always say, the downtown area, the banks and all that, that's a different world, because there's so many places for people to gather and bounce from place to place. You go to Nashville, to Broadway, it's the same thing. I mean, there's a lot of options. What's Tina got?
Tina, she started her own gym. That's awesome. What days are you doing it? I'd love to come.
Yeah, I saw that last week. That's cool. Yes. And Kara says she disagrees. JD Legend's phone booth and Hank's always full of good musicians. And yeah, and so we can go down the list. Heather's in the summer. Mr. Burroughs, the Barrel in Springboro, all have great musicians flowing through those places. So, and that's just in a little small geographical postage stamp of the area. And Josh said, he kind of went after Little York earlier about their pay, but that's not our issue. Our issue, we don't worry about what people get paid, because that's between you and the bar. And I've seen a lot of great bands at Little York. I have, and I'll say that. And he was referring to downtown. Yeah, and I don't disagree with you, because so many of the good venues in downtown Dayton have closed up that were staples for years. I mean, they were great music venues. So that's how it works. I think we're running out of time here today for this part, but we appreciate your input on it. It's been interesting to talk about that. And Jason said he's played with Joshua Baker. Okay, thank you for that. And Hollywood says he likes the backdrop. Is that Karis's backdrop today? And here's Brad. Let's see what Brad's always got a comment to say.
Gotta love him. Really noticed her one.
Okay.
Well, to be fair, Brad, I love booking Brad's band. I do.
Okay. Is that it? You're just going to say that? Okay. All right. And Mickey says they all love the Bell and the Bear.
I hope so. We love you.
Yes. Yes. So, guys, get your last comments in here real quick as we go to something else here at the end of the show. But just remember, be kind to one another and welcome people into your circle if you can. If people are trying to get into your circle, just as I'll use Steve Krakis as a great example. He came from Dayton, went to the Bell one night, and
I haven't left him alone since.
Welcomed with open arms. And he's a lifer there now. I mean, he's going to be there every chance he gets.
Oh, no, I know, Brad. I love you, Brad. Sorry.
Yes. And we love Brad, and we love his projects. Brad. And Brad, we love that you're opinionated too. I love to hear somebody with their own opinion and not somebody who's just vanillaing things to try to. And, social media has made everything cliquish. I'm going to end with that.
I want to say one more time that Shane DeMoss needs to come on a Thursday.
Okay. I'll lean on him next time I see him. But
you would love it. He would love it.
He's
and
also been trying to take a little
Steve
time
came
off.
one Thursday, and I literally have not left him alone. Dick Stewart. Yeah, Jamie's right. Dick Stewart. Dude, he came once, and we're like, hey, when can we get you back? Like, we bother. I mean, we are inviting. I know for us, I don't know, like for our family, Click family, whatever you want to call it, we keep trying to invite more and more people into it because we just want happy, good players, dude. Happy people who love music.
Chris Reese, I was waiting on somebody to say that. Yes, I know. It was a 90s hip hop group called The Click. And I was waiting on somebody to ask when we were going to talk to him. And yeah, he's telling you to.
Sorry.
Jack, you know who Jack is, don't you, Harris? I'll tell you after the show. He seems to want to be like incognito today.
Oh.
So yeah, he's using his alter ego alter ego today.
Yeah, well,
and I'm not sure if that
glad you came.
big comment he made, who that was directed at, but I'm interested. He's been a little opinionated. I offered for him to come on the show, Jack.
Who?
I have. Jack.
Oh.
Jack. Yes, Jack. Hey, Ceris, real fast, are you ready?
Yeah.
Let me look at something here before we go, because we've been on a long time.
Okay.
Let's hit it. Okay. Bad haircut or a bad dye job on your hair?
Oh, fuck. Bad haircut. I can hide it.
Okay. Winning the lottery or finding your soulmate?
Finding your soulmate.
Ketchup or ranch?
Ketchup.
Working hard or hardly working?
Working hard.
Air guitar or air drums?
Air drums.
Loud neighbors or noisy neighbors? Nosy neighbors. I'm sorry. Loud neighbors or nosy
I'll take
neighbors?
nosy all day. I'll take pictures of my asshole and send it to them. I don't care.
Wow. Night or morning?
Oh, both, but I like morning.
Wine or beer?
Neither. I don't drink.
Whiskey or water?
Water.
Okay. Sneakers or dress shoes? Sneakers.
Sneakers.
Okay. Cash or credit?
Cash.
Salad or a sandwich?
Sandwich.
I was going to say, if you don't say sandwich, I'm kicking your
sandwich.
All right. French fries or onion rings?
French fries.
Tattoos or piercings?
Tattoos.
Wow. Let's see. Girlfriends or guy friends?
Girlfriends.
Watch sports or play sports?
Play sports.
Okay. How about this?
Okay.
Kevin Cooper or Jamie Combs?
What a dick move. I'll do fuck, marry, kill.
How about say both?
I say both.
Okay. Jim Quest.
I'll take them both on Thursday night with a room full of other people.
There you go. Hey dudes or Crocs, somebody asked.
I don't know what hey dudes are, but I'm not wearing Crocs.
Okay. Jamie Combs, I love it. And Coop says that's a cop-out answer. Yes. Well, I was just going to throw that in there since they were both on here today. Yes. How about one last one, Ceris?
Okay.
I know how this is going to go. Night on the couch with your dog or a night on the town with your friends?
Night on the couch with my dog.
I knew that was coming. Thanks. Hey, thanks for being here, everybody. What a great show today.
I would do both, by the way. I would just start early.
Next week, I'll be in the hot seat on that one. I will. So there you go. That was this or that at the end of the show. Thanks for watching today, guys.
Metallica.
Remember Metallica. Yes. Somebody else must be asking that. Remember. I got to find it here. What is that, Ceris?
Disclaimer, the views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of our sponsors or any entities they represent.
Thanks for watching today, everybody. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for watching, everybody.
Hope you liked the show. Bye-bye. Bye. Here's some Johnny Fink. He's being inducted into the Northern Kentucky Music Hall of Fame.
But I see you,
should all go.
don't wear that dress too tight.
Johnny Fink.
When you walk by, try not to look so right. 'Cause when you come home, child, I don't want you now. No, when you come home, child, I don't want you now. You done me wrong for the last time now. You broke my heart just like our old wedding vow.
Holy mackerel.
When you come back, please don't stay too long.
Dun, dun, dun,
Go
dun.
back yonder, wherever
I love Johnny
he
Fink.
is from.
Me too.
Don't you?
So when you come
I love
home,
Johnny.
child, I don't want you now.
Say goodbye, Ceris.
Goodbye, Ceris.
When you come home, child,
See you next time. Tomorrow, Dat Band, All Around Town Radio, 5 p.m. We'll see you then. Bye, everybody.